Okay, and we're back. Thank you guys. And if you guys were listening to like our previous discussion, yeah, that was mainly us just rambling on about our opinions on like the different worlds. And I mean, honestly, again, that was just full ramble. But right now, we're mainly just going to be talking about the key points of Kingdom Hearts 3 and what we deemed interesting, what we deemed what they need to touch up on, and we're gonna obviously give our final rating, saying like, is this game worth the hype? Is this game worth the wait? And we'll just go on from there. So, you like want to? So I was thinking like, maybe we could like discuss about the combat. You're interested in doing that, or do you want to talk about the story?
Oh, I think we can start with the mechanics because there's quite a bit to talk about with that. You
Oh,
know.
oh yeah, trust me, dude. I am ready to rip into that. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about the combat for sure. So, yeah, if you remember what we said earlier in the last discussion, um, we were talking about Sora and his flow motion and his wall running. Well, like my opinion is with the flow motion, it's basically just a rehash from Dream Drop Distance. And I mean, it was fun if like when I played in Dream Drop Distance, it was definitely fun at first, but then of course it just got kind of dull, monotonous, and it's just well, like this is here, so like I mean, like, and it's a mechanic. I might as well try to expose it, right? But there really wasn't much use for it, and I mean, like this is in like in regards to the wall running. I mean, this is a tiny, you know, critique, or not even a critique. It's just a tiny issue. To the fact that the with the wall running and he just somehow just has the ability to just run up on walls and stuff like that, even though he didn't have that ability in any of the games at all. He just automatically just out of nowhere knew how to run up walls. It's like, and because like if you remember in Dream Drop Distance and then like the after events, like he lost most of his powers, his ability and stuff like that. Like yeah, he can still do flow motion, which is actually not that big of a deal since that's technically physical activity, and he can just adapt that to what he does, since it's basically muscle memory. But I still don't like the fact he um just out of nowhere knows how to do wall running. It just didn't feel right at all. Like, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like even in lore, like I think my biggest problem wasn't so much that how did he learn how to do that. Now it's still a problem. I'm not saying it's not,
Yeah, exactly.
but
Yeah.
like they could have said some bullshit like, "Oh, he got trained by Inset" or something like that. But yeah, I think that the wall running, like we said in the other video, should have been brought down to like you almost felt like you had too much freedom. Like, and I know that
Yeah.
sounds weird, but honestly, constraints make it way more interesting. So I think like if there was only certain surfaces you could run on, or you've
Mm-hmm.
only got like two or three steps on one, it would make it a lot more interesting. And like again, like the wall running just felt so janky. Like, and it's like, well, how the hell is he doing
Yeah.
that? Like, is he putting chakra in his feet and running up a wall? Like, I don't know. Like, nobody explained that. It was just kind of out of nowhere. And again, like I always, again, I use the example of Prince of Persia last time because Prince of Persia does that beautifully. Because yes, you can run on walls, but honestly, you're really, really vulnerable when you're on a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it kind of equals out. And just like in Dream Drop Distance, how you didn't run on a wall, but you jumped from wall to wall, it just felt like, again, you just could jump around too much to where it's like, all right, I'm jumping almost outside of the map and running into invisible barriers and stuff. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
it just doesn't feel like you should have that much freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Like the like the maps weren't designed for that. It
I
seems
agree.
like.
I mean, like
Um,
you're introduced to it, to in Hercule's world. God damn.
Hercule, yeah, Hercule Satan.
God.
Hercule Satan is in the
Hercule
fucking
sailing.
game.
Yeah.
I play that.
No. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, like if
Oh,
they
you
got.
defeated Xehanort? No, that was me.
Bro, how sick would it have been if we got
Right.
freaking Hercule Satan in
Oh,
Kingdom Hearts, bro? No, yeah, dude.
bro.
It's like no, you have like we need like the seven, you know, warriors of light or some shit like that to defeat this evil menace that's been going around for 12 years. No, nah, fuck that, man. We got freaking Hercule Satan, bro. We like with this dynamite punch, dynamite kick, and his way to get the crowd going, bro. It's like, bro, what more do you need, man? And also that afro, bro. every great warriors has an afro, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
But yeah, this bullshit tangent aside though. uh, but yeah, you obviously abuse that a lot in Hercules' world. Um,
Yeah.
and and it's like, I mean, like going off what I was saying about Hercules' world, it's like it was nice, but the aesthetics was nice and the environment was nice, but at the same time that was bloody freaking garbage, garbage
Yeah.
and boring.
That world especially. I agree. It's just kind of like just push you along, whatever.
Exactly, and all you mainly do is just try to find people, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about the mechanics, like it was. I mean, like it looked cool, but it just didn't feel right. And then like you know what? Let's get into the combat. Let's get into the combat. I talked. I talked enough. So like, what's your feel like? Let's talk about the pros and cons about it. So
Yeah,
what's your input on that?
It definitely seemed to like try to meld the combat of Kingdom Hearts 2, like drive forms, with the combat of Birth by Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
How like based on what attacks you use, you go into a particular form.
Yeah.
And then those have finishers and and different attacks and whatnot. Which I like that because personally, I really did enjoy the forms in Birth by Sleep. I thought they were
Yes.
really fun, and it made you actually want to switch it up and do some really cool finishers. And I liked the combat for the most part in Kingdom Hearts 2. Like the drive forms were a little bit too OP in my opinion, but like there was some drive forms that you'd like would never use because it's like, why wouldn't I use final form, or why wouldn't
exactly.
I use what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of pros that come with it, but I think the cons were just it became a button masher. And I know saying that everyone's gonna be like, oh, but Kingdom Hearts has always been a button masher. It's like, yes, that's true, but you can have a button masher that you actually have to pay attention to what you're doing. And that's what Kingdom Hearts 1 was. And if you remember my rant about Kingdom Hearts 1 and how great it is, that's an example of, yeah, you can button mash, but you're still going to get your ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I feel like Kingdom Hearts 3 was just a button masher, but it just didn't have much depth beyond that. And it was kind of like half the time it was like the problem with Kingdom Hearts 2. Like you spam and then press triangle. And oftentimes Kingdom Hearts 3 was even worse times 10 than Kingdom Hearts 2, because in Kingdom Hearts 2 you press triangle once. In Kingdom Hearts 3 I have 4 separate things that I could press triangle at that are building up, so I literally spam it and go, I'm on a pirate ship all of a sudden, and then I'm in teacups, and then I'm on a fucking mountain and with a giant fucking, you know what I mean? Like, all of these crazy, ridiculous attacks, and like your Link attacks, with Donald and Goofy.
And the other characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like whoever is the guest in that world, which is fine, but it just felt like there was too much going on. Like, nothing stood a chance. Like, you didn't have to think. You didn't have to think at all, and I didn't. And again, like I said in the other video, I made it a point to try to beat the game without blocking, and I did that. I did not have to block once at all, and I did not feel like I needed to at any point. That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, because here's the thing, though. Like, with the combat, it's like like in my opinion, there was more cons in the combat than good, and that is just not supposed to happen in anything in regards to the combat. Like seriously, like normally that's the story in regards to there being more bad than good in regards to a mediocre type of game. But
Yes.
but God, there was because when I was jotting down some notes, from what I recall from playing the game and doing the combat, it's like the only good note I have is that the controls felt fluid and responsive. That's literally all I can think of. But bro,
Yeah.
like the animation, dude, the animations for doing like these ultimate attacks and stuff like that, it takes so freaking long to get done. And
It breaks the flow of combat because you're sitting there, you're really in it, and then you wait, and then you're in it, and then you wait again. It's like you're watching cutscenes and not actually like in this tight fight. You know what I mean? Like it just,
yeah.
and even Kingdom Hearts 2, as much as I'm bashing it, Kingdom Hearts 2 showed restraint because the drive forms had a con to it where if you used it too much, you would get anti-form.
Yes.
And anti-form was not good. Like you would get like 2-shot, and if it was a boss, you actually had a higher % chance of getting anti-form. So you could risk it, but odds are you're not going to, especially in a long boss fight. So even Kingdom Hearts 2, as much as I'm giving it crap, did realize that you couldn't be this powerful. Like it's just boring. But in the boss fights in this game, you could go hog fucking wild. Like, you know what I mean? Like I bet you Xehanort was like, where the fuck did this teacups come from? Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah,
to
dude.
destroy the entire universe, and this fucker's riding teacups. Like,
bro,
it's
no, yeah, because here's the thing. Like another thing I need to say about the combat is like you have like these different types, as you were just saying earlier. You have like these different types of team attacks. You have, or like these ultimate attacks in general. Like you have stuff like God damn it. You have the team attacks. You have like these. What was the ultimate attacks that you use? Where like you literally use like
they're just
Disneyland amusement
they're
park
attraction
rides
for-
as
attraction
attacks.
for rides. They're called attraction flow rides.
Yes, that. Yeah. The issue is like you get like these arrows or something like that in the lower corner where where like your selection menu is, and it's super, and it's like all you have to do is just keep on attacking and stuff like that, and you don't know like what am I trying to say? Like, what are the ways of getting this up? You don't know. All you do is all you know is you just have to just keep on tapping buttons and shit like that till it gets all the way up to an ultimate attack or whatever. And what's hilarious, bro, is like like these team attacks, these are like situational attacks that pop out of nowhere, and you don't know what you're gonna get. Like you don't, because that is what irked the living shit out of me when I was playing this game. It's you don't know what move you're gonna get. I mean, like it's different. The only time you know what you're gonna get in regards to one of those special attacks is if you spam your spells. Like if you keep on using fire, Fire, you get Fire as like a special, and stuff like that. And that's one thing.
Another complaint I had about that is you had all of these like little attacks that you could do all in a row ready to go. The other thing was oftentimes there was an attack that I did not want to do because it
Mm-hmm.
would, and it's like there was no way to skip it or there was no way to get rid of it completely. So you had to sit through the animation of something
Yep.
and then just to get to the attack that you actually wanted to do. And the attack that you wanted to do didn't even matter, but it's like I got to a point where I'm like, I don't even want to use attraction flow rides, so I just started not using them. And I
Yes.
still did fine. I still did perfectly fine. Like there was like, and that was like, at least if it gave us the option of like, all right, cancel this attack, I wouldn't like, it wouldn't be as, it'd still be bad, but not as bad. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And, and another thing I want to say compared to Kingdom Hearts 2, also the drive forms in Kingdom Hearts 2, as OP as they were, you had a drive meter, which
Yep.
means that would drain, so you couldn't use it all the time. Granted, it was still pretty often, but there was still some type of currency that made you go, maybe I need to be sparingly about this.
There's some
But
limitations.
3, nope, have at it, do whatever the fuck. Like there was like, holy shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And the enemies just felt like giant bullet sponges. Like they just ate up damage. They ate up damage like nothing, and it was like, no one likes a bullet sponge. That's not hard.
Hell
That's
no.
It's
Christ.
not hard. It is tedious. There is a difference between challenge and and just being tedious as fuck. And I don't mean the protagonist of Final Fantasy X either.
I knew you were gonna. I knew it. I was gonna say something, but that was your moment.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, dude. It's like, you remember that monster from Monsters Inc., right? Wow. You know that? Yeah, you know that monster from Monsters Inc. Be like, oh yeah, yeah. But no, yeah, the final boss is what I mean. The final boss, where like
the weird sludge thing.
huh?
The weird sludge thing.
Yeah, where like it summons like all those like these random hands or something like that, just comes out of the ground. Like if you ever play Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time and you're in the Lens of Truth dungeon and you're facing like that creepy vanilla Banshee's Veil looking, whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And then, like it has like the hands like sticking out. It's like it's something like that in regards to this boss. And I died from that boss. And you know what pissed me the fuck off? Not dying from the boss, but the fucking advice bullshit at the lower corner of the screen, where it literally has the audacity to tell me how to beat this boss by getting this specific freaking team attack. And I'm all like, okay, yeah, that's good advice, but okay, how the hell do I get it? What are the specific ways to get it? Because like it's freaking random. Like the team attacks. Like, yeah, there are some moves that would definitely help me in certain situations. Like the firework thing that you use with Donald. That would definitely help a lot with all those hands sticking out. That would help so much. Because like that's like the only way for you to get close is when you actually destroy most of those things. Mm-hmm. Like Christ, that like, oh my god, like I literally just tossed my freaking controller and just walked down my room when I saw that. I'm like, what game?
Now, did you feel challenged or did you feel annoyed?
I don't even know how to explain that, because annoyed is literally an understatement of the freaking century.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god, I was so, cause here's the thing. The one thing I barely say during any type of combat is, oh, I guess we're doing this. I guess I have to deal with that. I never say that in any game I've played. I've played like a wide variety of RPGs. I have never once said that. That's bad. You're not supposed to say that anywhere, like at all.
Yeah.
Like this combat system, irked the living crap out of me. Keep in mind, I played on the highest difficulty. The highest difficulty. I didn't...
Yes.
Because here's the thing. When it comes to, like, these bosses, bro, all you literally did is have to spam spells and shit like that. That's literally it. just spam, fire, water god, water god, thunder. What the fuck is this shit?
Yes. Also, another thing, and I know I keep comparing it to past games, but it's because the past games actually did it right and correctly. Now, Kingdom Hearts 2, another thing, when you did a drive form, Donald and Goofy are gone.
Yes.
They disappear. That's another thing. You have no one to MP gift you. You have no one to heal you. Well, when he decides to, you have nobody to give you any kind of support. So that's another thing that makes it risky to do.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing. Whenever I used... Okay, so Kingdom Hearts 3 also had, like, an anti-form. Like, it wasn't anti-form, but they called it whatever, shadow, whatever form.
Yeah, I remember that,
But
yeah.
here's the thing. It drops your health, right? All the way down. And you can choose. It's called a risk. And you risk all of your health. The more you risk, the more damage you do. Which sounds pretty cool. Like, all right, a risk versus reward. I like that. Here's the issue, though.
Yep.
Donald and Goofy do not disappear when you get into this form, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you risk all of your health to do more damage, guess what? Donald heals you instantly.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
And there's no risk at all. There's no risk. So you're just sitting there like, what the fuck is the point? What is the point? There's no point. Don't even try to act like it's risky. What?
Not once.
Like, why? Like, it's stupid.
Christ.
Like, I just feel like nothing could stop me. Like, nothing could stop me. It was like, God. And again, I haven't played Critical, but I feel like Critical is just going to be like, oh, you do less damage and they take more damage, which is not hard. It's just annoying.
And,
you know?
Mm-hmm. And I remember, if you watch our why do I keep on saying watch? If you listened to our previous discussion, you remember the thing that revives you when you die.
Yeah, the Moogle coin.
The Moogle coin, yeah. Out of a 20-hour freaking game, I only used that shit 2 or 3 times on the hardest difficulty. The hardest difficulty. I literally just spammed the living crap out of my spells. I mean, granted, yeah, you spam and then you're at that point where you're almost, towards the end of the gauge. Like if it goes all the way to the end, it turns purple and you can't use spells for a while. Yeah. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's a good limitation. But
yeah, it is.
But at the same time, though, it doesn't technically matter because I could still use these special bullshit attacks. It doesn't matter.
Also, Donald can still heal you, and you can still use items. So, but it's still somewhat of a risk, at least something. But
exactly.
Yeah, but the only times that I died was from me being stupid and wasting my heal too early or something like that, or it just being lucky. Like them doing a shit ton of damage for some reason.
Yes.
And the other thing is, I feel like the Moogle coin should only be available for beginner and maybe normal difficulties.
Yes.
Because in higher level play, it's you don't need, that's going to take away from the challenge. You know what I mean? A good example of that is Final Fantasy 15 actually did the same thing. They had the Carbuncle summon, and in the easier difficulties, the Carbuncle would bring you back to life once. That's fine, but in later difficulties, they didn't. You know why? Because you don't need that shit. It's a challenge. You're trying to be challenged. Why the fuck would you need? And then people are like, oh well, don't buy the Moogle coin. It's if it's there, you might as well get it. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time for no reason.
Basically,
that's like saying, oh, you want a challenge? Just use the normal Kingdom Key unupgraded. Yes, but it would be stupid not to, because it would literally be a waste of time to use anything thing, like, other than, like, you know what I mean? Because you're just doing less damage. Like, it's just,
Yes.
it's just like you should. There's the reason why games are set up the way they are is to limit use for a particular reason. That's why they're there. We shouldn't have to be the ones to make that difficulty artificially. That is on the designer to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to rant, but Jesus Christ.
It's dumb. And oh, wait a minute.
It really is.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it really is.
It really is, yeah. And here's another thing I gotta say about the combat is the special attacks for the different types of kingdom keys you use. Have you noticed that they're all basically just AOE spams? They're just splashes.
Yeah.
They're
Yes,
literally
they
just
are.
all AOE. It's like, okay, and here's the thing: when it comes to AOE or technical, okay, so to those who don't know what AOE is, AOE stands for area of effect, which means like it does damage, to to the area around you. So like if you have like a huge array of enemies, you would use like an AOE type of attack to do split damage to all of them to give you a bit of an advantage, and so you don't have to worry about putting forward so much emphasis effort into fighting them. Mm-hmm. So but in regards to this, another issue I have is just the damage. And keep in mind, this is AOE damage, and it's just as OP as anything. Because I wish they split it up with AOE and single target finishers.
Yeah, single target or maybe precision shots too.
Like, what do you mean in regards to precision?
Like you actually have to aim it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It would make it actually really interesting.
Yeah, people can argue with one of the what was that kingdom key where you just shoot just bullets like crazy. Which one was that? The shooting star, right?
Yeah, the shot. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the what is it? What do they call the Keyblade? I don't know. It looks like Star Seeker. That's all you got to know. And it turns into the guns.
Yes.
Yes,
that one. Yes, the gun one. Yeah.
Even that one though, the aiming for that is all right. You have to be dropped off of a bridge when you were 4 years old to not hit those shots.
Seriously.
Come on.
If the hitbox was smaller with that, and give you a bit of a challenge to actually shoot those things, maybe this might be a bit too, dark for Kingdom Hearts, but if you aim for the head, it does more damage.
Yeah. Anything you get invincibility frames when you're inside these animations.
Yes.
So it's I've literally used the invincibility frames just to avoid attacks.
Yeah.
But you're still getting hit by the attack, but it's not doing any damage. And I understand why they do that, because it would break the flow and everything. But still, come on, that's bogus.
If you actually, what? I actually have an idea that they could actually do in the higher difficulties. If you're into that animation, for example, the shooting with that Keyblade, the shooting thing with the guns. If you're in the animation, you take quarter damage.
Yeah.
You take quarter damage while you're in the animation.
And that would be good because it's a risk because you're a sitting target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. That would be great.
That would have made it a bit more challenging and would actually put me in a panic state. Be like, holy shit! There's because you're facing forward when you're shooting, but then you notice your health bar is going down. Wait, why the fuck is my health bar going down? Oh shit! Someone's behind me! And it gives you that sense of panic, and when you get that sense of panic, you get that sense of, frustration and be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should limit my options in regards to using this attack. Maybe I should use something else, and, so I'm not constantly getting bombarded with shit.
Yes. And you know what that is? That's you actually having to think about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What a concept, What a concept. What is this, a Warriors game?
Yeah, Christ.
Where you just spam and hope for the best? That's what it felt like.
And they can come up with all the excuses saying like, oh, this game is for kids, meant for kids. This game is meant for, a specific age group, like, like 5 to 13, etc. They can use all the flipping excuses they want.
Here's my response to that. Kingdom Hearts 1 was also intended for kids.
Yep.
But you know what? There is a way that you can not only appease to the kids, but also to the hardcore fans. And that's where you make it easy to pick up, but hard to master.
Exactly.
I know that's a lot easier said than done. I realize that. But if you make it where your combat and everything, like, you can play it just fine by spamming, but you're not nearly going to be as efficient with it, especially at higher difficulties. That's what you can do. Like, you know what I mean? There's ways to design around that. Like, you can still be accessible. like for example, look at Smash Brothers. Like, that is a perfect example of easy to pick up. Anybody can pick that up. But when you get into high level play, there's so many tactics and things that really you need to think about.
That's fighting games in general, yeah.
Yeah, but Smash Brothers especially.
Oh, Smash Brothers, yeah.
Because of that reason, and that's why I use that as an example. But that's why so many people can say like, "Oh, I love Smash Brothers. I just casually play Banjo-Kazooie or something." Like, but then there's another person that's just like, "Oh, well, I fucking play Fox, like 3 stock only on Final Destination, no items." But both people can have a fucking great time, at the same thing. It's just all in your design. So you can say that, and I realize they want a wider appeal. I get that, but also the like, you're forgetting how many games have been in this franchise. Those other ones had great design things that wasn't just spamming.
Yeah,
some of them did, but not nearly this bad. Not
God,
nearly.
no, Christ.
So that's my big rant about the combat.
That's the but yeah, like I said, overall, the combat, it felt nice. It felt very fluid, and it looked, and like, not gonna lie, it looks, the animations and everything around to the special attacks, the team attacks and stuff like that, it looks very aesthetically beautiful, especially with the updated graphics, in comparison, like, previous games and stuff like that. But there's just so much cons in this combat. Yeah, in comparison to the good, and that's just upsetting for me to say. Because Christ,
I agree. Because if any of you, well, you don't know me if you're watching this, but I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I've been basically my whole life. So, and I know from this video it doesn't sound like I am, but the reason why I care so much is because I love it. And the reason why I'm shitting on it so much is because I love it and want to see it. I know it can do better.
You love it, and you love it, and you want it to succeed. It's basically like your love child. You want it to succeed. You want it to, reach high platforms.
Yes, and I know it can do that. I know it's capable of all the things that I'm saying. Definitely, but just this one, I think it just missed the mark.
Yeah, but
I still enjoyed the game. I enjoyed it, but I didn't like absolutely love and worship and will play it every chance that I get, like previous ones.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, one extra thing is, the flow motion was garbage. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Well, it was better than Dream Drop Distance, but that's really not saying
much. It's like a tiny 2%, adjustment.
Yes. Agreed.
But no, yeah, let's get into the story. So let's see. Oh yeah, I gotta say something. You know how, like, when you do, like, the worlds, like we're not gonna explain each world like we did last time. I actually want to bring up a good point. Like, you know how, like, when you did all these worlds back in the previous Kingdom Hearts, you play, like, certain events like they do in the movies, but you actually participated in, like, the final fight, like, Simba versus Scar, and or like you versus Ursa. Okay, maybe I shouldn't bring up Ursa because no one fucking talks about that world.
That'll haunt my dreams forever.
My God. But no, yeah,
Well, thank
you get what I'm saying though, right? Like, but in regards to this,
Yeah.
there was basically no interaction at all. Like it's just,
No.
it was just basically everything that was in the movie, and then in the end, it's just some random freaking Heartless just appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, like some random Heartless that you're very forgettable. Like the designs were pretty, but very forgettable.
Mm-hmm. Like,
You know, there isn't like
mm-hmm.
the example that I always use is the boss design in Final Fantasy 12 is like holy fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you remember that shit because that shit's
yeah.
insane. Or even did I say 10 or 12?
You said 12.
Okay, but even 10, same thing. Like you're like, holy shit. But like this one, they just were like, okay, it's a frost-looking wolf heartless thing. All right, it's a sludge or something. Like, and I agree. And I feel like you should have at least had something to do with the final fight, like in those movies. And like you were saying, and I know they can't do the same scale, but at least something, you know?
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like, remember, like, going back when I was saying, when like the fight with Scar, like in Lion King, you follow along with Simba to defeat him, but and then like with this, like it shows, like in the Tangled world, it shows, you know, the mother, whatever the fuck her name is, she dies the exact same way in the movie, and then transforms into this flippin' wherever the fuck that this Jack and the Beanstalk looking as, wherever the hell, and because like just looking at that, it's like if you watch like Tarzan, like there's like this part where it was like Tarzan versus Clayton. Clayton. How the fuck do you pronounce his name?
Clayton.
Okay, I was right the first time. Yeah. It was Tarzan versus Clayton. So like
that
if you were
awesome, by the way.
Yeah, right. But like if you fight him, like it's like those two going at it, while Sora, Donald, Goofy is just off doing whatever, fighting Heartless, and then it shows, and at the end of the movie, or the end of that scene, it shows Clayton just accidentally, you know, hanging himself, from with the vines, and then it's just out of nowhere, this flipping Heartless just came out of nowhere and he just shat this fucking Heartless out of his ass, and then just
that's exactly what it is.
And that's just basically what these bosses are. It's just and then the main character just disappears out of freaking just disappears. It's like it doesn't even matter.
It makes the world feel more like, you know, like a little ride that you're going through and have nothing to do with it. Like, you know, like those rides you go to at like Six Flags, they're like, oh, we got to save the world. Oh, thanks, man. Like, you totally didn't do shit. Like, I mean, like that's what it feels like. It just, I completely agree with that. Like, you didn't feel like you were in the movie. You didn't feel like you had anything to do with the plot. You were just kind of a bystander. And I know the writing's hard to do that. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's definitely possible.
Exactly. My issue, and like they say, some people say the reason why they didn't use some of the people that was, you know, considered the main villains in the, you know, in these Pixar movies that they used, you know, towards the end, it's because like, oh yeah, well it's a you know, it's a Disney product, et cetera, like, you know, we don't, you know, want to see these characters get beat up or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So like, okay, so what do you say about Davy Jones? Like, he's literally like the only person. Okay, no, let's scratch that. Yeah, you technically do fight the Titans, but at the same time though, that's not really saying much. But I mean, yeah, you face the Titans, but at the same time though, they were fucking child's play.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you fight just Davy Jones and stuff like that, but you don't fight like any of the other main villains, and it's like, like Davy Jones is one ugly ass motherfucker, but at the same time, so yeah, it makes sense for us to fight him. Yeah, why not? but no, yeah, all these other main villains is like no, yeah, they're nice, polite humans and stuff like that. So yeah, let's not fight them. Yeah, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
so like there's literally no excuses for them not to use for us not to use them. That's what pisses me off about Disney. They were too overprotective about
Yes. Because
this.
Disney has Square Enix on a tight leash. Like I know it's not all Square Enix's fault. I get that.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna blame
But,
Square Enix because I'm just saying
yeah.
I'm basically just giving the middle finger to Disney because fuck.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Like, oh my god, because like I feel like it's because of them that this game had so many restrictions. I mean, there's a few restrictions in regards to certain characters not talking because voice actors passed away, which that one I understand. But in regards to like the boss fights, the final boss fights in each world, it's fucking stupid.
Agreed. I completely agree.
Just random. Like, I'm sorry, that was me ranting. Like, what's your post on that?
I actually completely agree with that, and I feel like a lot of the worlds it just didn't feel like I was there. Like it looked like I was there, and it sounded like I was there, but it just didn't feel like I was actually interacting with it. It just felt like a ride, like I said.
Yeah, it's just you just go through these. Yeah, you just go through these worlds, and like you're just there. Like, and like here's another thing. Like, this is random, but like there's like in Tangled where it was Ryder and Rapunzel and how they're connecting, especially Rapunzel, noticing like this new world, and it's like, oh wow, this place is amazing, etc., and like there's like some moments between her and Ryder. Have you noticed that kind of stuff was mostly 80% between Sora Rapunzel, not Ryder and
Yes.
Rapunzel, but they still got together at the end. I mean, I'm not saying Sora x Rapunzel. Oh god damn it! Now that I said that, I mean, like, I'm sure that's already just been a thing because of that, but I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, though, it's that's just a tiny nitpick. But yeah, still, it was these worlds just make no damn sense, bro. No, these bosses make no fucking sense. And then like the next part, and which part of the story that you want to talk about next? Because what I have here is talking about the towards the end game, but I don't want to get too far. Like, which part did you want to talk about next?
It's not so much talking about the specific part, it's more so ranting about the story.
Yeah.
And that would be not only the worlds themselves, but in between the worlds, how jack shit happened.
Oh, like with Kyrie and Lee, doing that so-called training, even though we didn't actually we never saw them swing any keyblades. They're just talking about random stuff and stuff like that.
Yes. And not only that, but just in between, like where the story is, supposed to progress, it doesn't. Like, it's just like, oh, here's Riku and Mickey talking about what they're probably gonna do. Like, it was only till like the last world that you beat that things started actually happening.
Yes.
Like it just nothing happened. Like I was just waiting for something to happen because like I know the other games kind of did that too, but like I just felt like the story did not progress. Like usually in a game, you play through a lot of parts and then the story progresses and it gets you interested in what's going to happen next. Even if the game's boring, you can still look forward to what's going to happen next, in the short term. But this did not do that. It was literally like, all right, let's go to the next world, guys, woohoo! And then it was just like, oh, the organization talking about some things here and there, but not a lot, nothing really telling. It's just kind of all hyping up the end. And
exactly,
again,
that's basically it.
I get that, but I would really have liked the story to go because, like, honestly, if you could summarize what happened in Kingdom Hearts 3 in like one freaking sentence, like,
Basically, yeah. And like the parts that were supposed to be emotional, I felt no emotion like at all, and like some people, and I'm sure like some people would point that as like, wow, you're probably like an emotionless robot or something like that. Well, like no, like I literally felt nothing. Like perfect example, the reunion between Ventus and Aqua when she was when he was in that deep sleep, and he finally woke up, and then those two just meet eye to eye for the longest time. I mean, all I got was, hey, sup. It's like I was expecting Aqua to tear up a bit and give him a hug and stuff like that, and I was expecting something, some emotional connection that shows that, wow, I haven't seen this kid who was basically like my baby brother in like 7, 10, 15 years, especially me being alone in like, the darkness for, God knows how long. And then then like the only light that I, want is just to see, my other two siblings again. It's just, I felt nothing. There was literally no connection whatsoever, especially, I was seriously sad about that. And especially when they reunited with Terra, still nothing.
Yeah, especially like how it happened too. You would think that they would make it a bit more emotional, but
yeah, dude,
it was just Also, on a similar note, the sea salt ice cream trio.
yeah,
Like that, I didn't feel that either. Like they're all like and then they hug it out, and you're like that's it. Like it just. Like after years of anticipation, that's all you got. You're just like, oh, sweet, it's good to see you, man. All right,
yeah,
like, okay.
Yep.
Like I completely agree. Like the emotions like had the potential to be there because there's a lot of emotion to be had, but they just didn't have time to be fleshed out because they were too busy. The pacing was just thrown off completely. And I know they can't spend too much time on it, but just something to be like, hey, I was in darkness for 13 years. I haven't seen you in that long. Holy shit, you're okay. We're all good. All right, now we're all together again. Like, damn. Nope.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And the number one part that I actually was hoping that was actually be a bit more emotional was the Starfruit moment between Sora and Kairi, because in the very beginning, the very first Kingdom Hearts 10 or 12 years ago, they said that in regards to the Starfruit and it's being shared between two people, that's just basically a bonding moment, or like basically like I'm yours, then you're mine, etc., etc. It's a huge bonding moment between two people that adore each other, and like when Kairi and Sora shared that moment, I did feel what the fuck is this shit? What you spent 5 fucking this is 12 years in the making, and you guys actually had this moment, and this is the shit you show me?
Yeah, I agree.
Jesus Christ, I was so livid.
It just was so rushed. Just that's my best way I can describe everything, was just rushed.
As you said, like they're on a a time schedule. I get that, but you couldn't spend like maybe just a few more minutes, and then you can just fade to black and make that scene a bit more, something that was like long awaited for a long time. I mean, like I'm sure the people who were Sora x Kairi was like heavily expecting that moment, and I'm sure even they were disappointed, and there was literally no emotion connection with this fucking game.
And it easily could have, because there was all these pent up emotions and stuff from all the games.
Exactly. I felt nothing at all, and it's like I feel like what happened was, because like this is my prediction. I think what happened was like they had stuff planned, and it would have made the game twice as better. But then thanks to Disney, with their uptight buttholes, saying like, "Oh no, yeah, you can't do that, man." It's like, and then like I guess like we have to retouch up on a few things, and then that pretty much leaned to the fact they have to spend so much time rehashing stuff, and that took, you know, longer than expected. And they had to do all the animations, and it's like I guess we can't, add on to this because like we don't have enough time. I think that's what happened in my opinion. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. I completely agree. I know that Disney has them on a tight leash, but also time constraints. Also, all of the hype around this game, they're like, all right, we got to make sure we do this, we got to do that, we got to do this. I know it's a lot, but it's like you also can't fuck it up,
Exactly. I
So,
mean, mm-hmm.
even if I know I hate to say this, but like even if they had to split it into two parts, which would piss a lot of people off, I would rather that because then it would have the pacing that it deserves.
Agreed.
Like
I'd be one of those people who'd be aggravated too, but at the same time, you know what? Come to think of it, no, actually, I don't think I would have, because, okay, no, okay. I guess like I have to, because I think I don't have the mindset of a huge Kingdom Hearts fan because, this is like a game that people have been waiting for a decade. So, so I guess my mindset is different because like how my mind is, I just take what it is. I just play the game and just take what it is. And it's like if they actually did that where they split it up into two and made like 13-2 or something like that. Oh my god, it's like I'm referencing Lightning.
yeah.
But no, yeah, if they did I just say 13? I meant 3. Where the fuck did I get 13? I meant 3. If they made Kingdom Hearts 3 Part 2 or something like that.
Yeah. I know people would never they'd never do it, but I feel like even if they wouldn't, I feel like it would be better than this.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, agreed.
I feel like they put way too much emphasis on the worlds.
Yeah.
And they didn't really show much of that emphasis. They just kind of the worlds had most of the bulk of the game, but had like the least to do with any of the story.
I mean,
and then the worlds that actually didn't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like other Kingdom Hearts games are, guilty of doing that too. But at least you had some, some participation in each world, and plus Sora brings, something from each of those worlds at least.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I completely agree, and I think going to the world should make sense to the story too.
Yeah.
Not just as like a side thing of like, oh, we got to train, ha ha ha. Like, no, it should. Like, all right, if literally the entire universe is gonna get deleted and started again, and you're fucking playing with like Elsa or some shit, like, I don't know. It just, and I know all RPGs are kind of like that, but just at least make it somewhat believable.
Yeah, I agree. And
again, it just comes down to tighter writing. That's all it really is.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. I agree with you on that one. And the character, and I gotta say something about like the character interaction. Am I the only one that feels like the jokes were a bit like forced, or certain things was forced? Like, for example, like there's like this. I feel like there's like this weird cycle where like someone says something and then another person says something that. No, it says something that sounds like a type of insult, and then the other person retorts, and then 2 or 3 seconds later, just
yeah,
like
everybody there starts laughing.
Like, and what makes
wow,
it?
Sora, you're such an idiot. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Like okay.
Basically that. It's like after the retorted response, there's like this awkward 2 or 3 second pause, and then that's when everybody starts laughing. I'm all like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's not.
I also feel.
Mm-hmm.
I also, on a related note, feel that there was too many characters.
Yeah.
And not enough of them really got the attention that they deserve, because all these characters have different powers, different personalities, and things like that, but they didn't come out at all. Like, a good example of how to do that is like Avengers. Like Avengers did that really well because everyone was in groups and you got to see those dynamics,
Yep.
and everyone got to come out. But in this one, everyone's all glommed together, and like while everyone like while Sora and people are talking, everyone's just sitting there like, huh, like not doing anything, just kind of doping around, like might as well not even be there. Like like
Basically.
it just didn't feel like they were actually there. They were just standing there, but they didn't feel like they were there.
Mm-hmm.
It was just very hollow. They didn't feel animated or anything. You know,
Word. The more hollow than the people in fucking Bleach.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Or the ones that sleep in Harry Potter. Okay, I'm done.
But yeah, that's another big point I wanted to bring up. you know,
I agree. No, yeah, and also, have you noticed the only characters that I mainly liked is just mainly just the usual trio, which is Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Those are the main characters. Like I'm just the three of them as a whole because their chemistry and their brother relationship. But at the same time, there are
yeah, but
times
you
where
also,
Sora just says something that is just random, like, and just randomly
yeah,
insults Donald, and just like, it's like that's his. It's just. I think he says something where like, that's deathly unordinary, like your face. I'm like,
yeah, like what?
what the fuck? like,
Bro, we're being serious here, and your bitch ass is talking shit.
like, 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 and then was that really necessary? Was that really needed?
Yeah,
It's just I'm trying to enjoy what's going on, and then you're just making me cringe, and that literally
yeah.
happens like 5 or 10 minutes of your fucking conversations.
Yeah, and on a related note, also a lot of the character interactions seemed very robotic. And
Word.
I know Kingdom Hearts has always been like that, but come on, it's a modern console. We're not on PS2 anymore. Like you can be a little more animated than just
Mm-hmm.
like because back then you could get away with now who will I have ice cream with? But now we're in PS4. It's like, all right, guys, can you be a little more like animated than we have to save Aqua? Oh no, back in my day, I knew her and she was really cool. Like, I feel like they could have worked on that a little more. Like, I like the voice acting, don't get me wrong, but it just
Oh
felt
yeah.
so robotic and not very animated. And I
Agreed.
know that's a thing with a lot of video games and anime as well, but still, like, come on.
At least
This
put
is a
something in there.
major, yeah, this is a major IP. Like, you can do a little more than that.
Do a little something called character connection. Put jokes that are necessary. It's just I feel like if I just keep on doing this, I'm just gonna keep on repeating myself and get even more frustrated about it. So like basically just so yeah, let's just go on to the end part of the game, which is where
Yeah.
I actually started liking it, but at the same time though it's kind of kind of late in the game. But
Yeah, it
this
was
is
a little too late. A
yeah
little
this is
too little too late.
yeah this is where you meet, like after you get down with the worlds, you meet up with Aqua, Ventus, and so on and so forth, and then everyone, including Kyrie and Lee, meet up um, at Yin Sid's place,
Yep.
and you guys, decide to go to the Keyblade graveyard. Actually, before I get into that, since I mentioned Lee and Kyrie, I actually want to say something real quick. Kyrie, what the fuck?
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like you spent all this time and Lee was worse. He's literally he was this badass, and now he's just a.
Yeah.
I not, and don't get me wrong. I like the fact that he has like some sentimental feeling. I like the fact he's a changed man, and he's fighting, along with the light and so on and so forth. And he's actually using an actual keyblade that represent his old weapon. Like some people
Right.
didn't like that, but I found his keyblade to be pretty badass. It sucked it.
Yeah.
It sucked it broke, but
Yeah, right.
but
And
he was
yeah,
literally he was literally just the comic relief.
yes, exactly. Which is like not the role that he had originally. Like he was a badass. Like in Chain of Memories, he was a fucking badass. In Kingdom Hearts 2, he was a badass. Like, definitely.
And he's just the fucking comic relief, and I was just disappointed because I loved his character. Yeah, there are times where you have these badass characters have like some sentimental value, or become melancholy and start showing emotion and stuff like that. But at the same time, though, you don't have to change their character completely. Like this is a perfect example of this is like Vegeta in regards to doing it right. Like he started off evil for specific reasons, and when he starts working with the Z Warriors, he actually develops huge emotion. But at the same time, though, he still keeps his pride. He still keeps his his Prince of All Saiyans mentality and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes him so interesting and why people like him.
Mm-hmm. And I was hoping they're going to be doing that with Axel, but God, they didn't. I was pissed off about that. But no, yeah. And then, but yeah, getting back to what I was saying about the Keyblade Graveyard, like you start finding the organization, like you have branching paths to pick, where it's like you have to go. If you go this way, you get to fight along with Riku. If you go this way, you get to fight with Mickey against two other organizations. I was kind of confused in regards to that, because I thought what they were gonna do is that if you go this way, a certain way, then like the way you didn't go, something happens. But in regards to if you get done fighting like the organization on that, on a particular side, and you go back to the other side, I thought it was gonna be something where like this one character gets damaged or something like that, so he can't fight anymore. I thought they were gonna be doing something like that, but no, it's I guess no change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just a side thing, but yeah, you fight all these organization members, and then you fight the dude that that had the Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff like that. And am I the only one, like when you fight the dude with the cards, and like he hides behind like all these cards? It's like, am I the only one that felt like that was too easy? Because like what he does is he disguises himself behind all these cards, and like one of these cards is him, and I cheated a bit, and I literally just pivot the camera a bit, and like there he was, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like there was like literally like nothing. Keep in mind, I was playing on the highest difficulty, and like there was like no repercussions like at all.
Yeah, I agree.
It was weird. And
I think the fights were really easy too.
Say what?
I think the fights were really easy too, like just unbelievably easy.
Yeah, and then like the dude gives you a card, and be like, and you're wondering, yeah, okay, like what's that card? And then he doesn't mention it ever, and then like, oh shit, they're making another Kingdom Hearts again, aren't they?
Yeah. It's basically the card's gonna be some bullshit ex machina in the
Yeah,
next game.
but hey, yeah, can't wait for the next Kingdom Hearts. Can't wait to play it while I'm chilling in my retirement home.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But now, yeah, and then like after you get done fighting all the members, they have like a little sentimental moment with Sora, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When you kill them off, you actually do feel bad for them, since these are basically their nobodies.
Yeah, I liked the sentimental parts for each one of them. Some were much better than others, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, they stayed in character, and I really liked it. It definitely made me feel that actually did make me feel more emotional because it was good closure for certain characters, for sure.
You're
Yeah.
you're sounding kind of robotic, dude. Speak.
All right, better.
Yep, way better.
Okay. But what I was saying is, I actually liked the sentimental parts after each fight. It kind of helps, reinforce them, as a character and kind of like their goodbye and their send off. I think it was good for like the end part of the game.
I agreed.
But again, some were better than others, but overall, I liked it. It was a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was hoping the fights would be a bit harder, but again, it's
Especially when you
whatever.
especially when you fight three at once. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I did find it cool that you have other people, fight with you, but
But they were kind of useless.
man, it's basically Slippy and Star Fox.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly Slippy and Starbucks. They just get and they're like, "No, save me! They're behind me!"
I'm all like, are you fucking kidding me, Slippy?
Yeah.
But no,
I mean, the whole point. I mean, literally, Slippy goes to a whole nother planet because he fucking crashes, and you gotta save his ass. Like what?
because he fucked up. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
But anyway, yeah. So I did like that. The fights were fun. Like they were easy, but they were still really fun. I enjoyed them. It was definitely the highlight of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And then, God damn it, Kyrie! She gets here's the thing. Before I say the next part, I gotta say something about Kyrie. I thought that this was going to be the game where where she gets redeemed.
They hyped it up for her to be.
Yeah, exactly. And then she just gets she's doing all this training, and oh wait a minute, we forgot to mention something. When Sora goes into this dream world type of thing, saying he's dead, and he has no other way for him to actually he's dead but not dead, and it's just a bunch of bullshit explanations. So basically, he has to collect 100 of himself or whatever the hell it is.
It was just filler, in my opinion.
Annoying filler, holy shit. And then you have to go back to different worlds and and kill this specific heartless, do damage to it, and these different worlds, and collect the different souls of each person, with Ventus, Aqua, etc., etc., etc.
Filler.
And then towards the end, it shows Kyrie approaching Sora in a spiritual type of thing, reaches out to him, and then they fly off to the distance, saying now it's my job to protect you. And I'm okay, nice, yeah, okay. I like where this is going. And then she fucking gets kidnapped, and then she freaking dies. Die, but dies, because I'm all like, are you fucking kidding? Are you freaking kidding me?
Imagine dying and then getting back to life just to be killed again.
Oh my god, dude. I was so aggravated, bro. Because, they said that she was going off to, train and be, a strong Keyblade wielder. I mean, some people can make the excuse saying, well, maybe she can get as much training. I mean, okay, neither did Sora, and he's somehow one of the best Keyblade wielders.
Yeah, and let's not forget that they were in a fucking hyperbolic time chamber.
Basically,
where time flows differently, so they had plenty of time to fucking train. So don't give me that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give me that shit.
It's so freaking dumb. And then they literally, took this character. Seriously, Kyrie was basically sorry, I gotta collect myself for a minute. Yeah, Kyrie just went from being a useless character with a personality of cardboard to a complete and total useless character with the personality of cardboard with a goddamn keyblade.
Yeah. And here's where I'm actually going to correct you. Yes, she is a cardboard that doesn't matter, but at the same time, she exists to make the plot continue. And I'm not saying that in a good way either.
Exactly. She's one of the
She's a plot device, and that's it.
yeah, and then she's just basically the same thing. She's a damsel in distress in the first one. Now
Yeah.
she's a fucking damsel in distress in this one, and she did all this training. Like, what was it? What was she there for? Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, you just said she's basically a plot plot device to move
But
the
that's not a
plot
good
forward,
reason to be there.
which is so stupid. And then
It is stupid.
and can I say something like in regards to Xehanort's getting the Keyblade,
Yeah.
he has to get like the different keys from each organization member, and like in order for him to get those, you have to you personally have to kill them off, and it's like, how the fuck does that make sense? Like, what?
Yeah, it's basically when light and dark clash, they make another one of his keyblades that all turn into one big keyblade. It's really doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like how in Birth by Sleep, when Ventus and Vanitas fight, they make another version of the keyblade, even though that's the same keyblade, but it's not the same keyblade. And also, that was a fake Kingdom Hearts. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
And
Yes.
and the Keyblade that he fused. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Keyblade. The one that he infused all these Keyblades with. It's I was not expecting it to look all like I was expecting like a badass red Keyblade or something like that. That just looks like a freaking female earring.
Yeah, it's just like the same keyblade in Birth by Sleep. I was expecting something a bit more epic.
Yeah, dude, that did. I mean, I was expecting it to be like, ugh. Then again, I could say the same thing about Riku's, Keyblade, looking like a
You
fucking
mean
monster.
Sparky?
Yes, card key, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I completely agree.
And then the fight towards the end. Okay, I have to admit, that area that you go to, to face Xehanort. Say what?
Scarlet and Kylum.
Yeah, I have to admit that world looked pretty freaking amazing.
Yes, it was definitely the highlight of the whole game.
And then
Definitely.
I'll admit I had fun. I had a bit of fun playing Xehanort, but that's the sad part. I had fun fighting him. I'm not supposed to be having fun fighting someone who has been, the main villain since the freaking beginning.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, he was harder, but not hard. Now, that being said, the final boss fight was awesome. All the different
dude.
how you go underwater and how he literally warps reality around you and shit. That's cool. That was awesome. And his armor, that fucking goat looking armor, demonic looking armor was fucking dope.
It was sick, man.
Yeah, that was sick. Everything about that was sick. But yeah, I just didn't feel like it was super duper hard. But also, I was kind of surprised that Xehanort didn't turn into a giant fucking demon spaceship.
or something, yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Yeah,
no, I know what you mean, yeah.
I still liked the fight, don't get me wrong, but I was just expecting some crazy shit like that,
Like the typical, JRPG stereotypical ending.
Yeah,
boss.
where
You're expecting the final act of Final Fantasy X, right?
Yes, exactly. Any Final Fantasies where the final boss is this giant deity full of fucking spaceships and flesh and wings and blades.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, this is a Kingdom Hearts game. They gotta have some limitations, I guess.
Well, look at Kingdom Hearts 1. It's literally a giant demon spaceship.
Okay, I'm retarded. Never mind. That's a good point.
And Kingdom Hearts 2, it's a giant demon spaceship thing.
Oh yeah, that's just that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
But
that's a
anyway,
good point.
But that being said, I still loved the fight. That was my favorite part of the game was that fight.
And
By-
and then like towards the end, it's like it shows. If you ever play Birth by Sleep, it shows like the the master of Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. What the fuck was his name?
Are you talking about Master Masters?
Master what?
Oh, you're talking about Ericus.
Ericus, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Ericus, yeah. And it shows like the flashback between, what the fuck is his name? Xehanort and, Ericus when they were, playing chess. And it's like, I mean, there wasn't much hints, showing that it was Ericus, playing with Xehanort. But at the same time, though, I mean, it sort of makes sense, but at the same time, though, I think they just placed that just randomly because
Yeah.
they got to put a Shyamalan twist somehow in there to make it interesting.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that was. It's just a tiny nitpick. I just find that kind of dumb, but at the same time, though, it's not too bad though, and I enjoyed it. But at the same time, though, it's like they make it so like Xehanort, Xehanort's not a bad guy. No, yeah, I was like, just totally misunderstood him. All like,
Yeah.
are
I
you
was like,
fucking
bro,
kidding
he
me?
was straight up killing and experimenting on kids, taking over worlds and deleting worlds and no. Literally stealing people's souls and bodies. Like, don't fucking tell me that he was just trying to do it for the better of the world. My ass.
My black ass, bro. That's that
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, it was. I was like, it was a touching moment to see them as friends again at the end. Like, it was a touching moment, but it's like, dude, when you realize everything that he fucking did, yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck off. And
Yeah.
and then he gives the Keyblade over to Sora, and
Yeah.
and how much do you want to bet that Sora's gonna treat that Keyblade how Harry Potter treated the world's strongest wand, like the
Elder Wand?
the Elder Wand, yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna break it. I guarantee it.
Just break it, and just not even break it, just get rid of it, and it's just not relevant.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet? Because like I said, it's because that Kingdom Key, is the strongest out of all of them, and he's just never gonna use it.
Yeah. Agreed.
But yeah, it's just gonna disappear every Kingdom Key he gets, every single Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. We know. We know.
Yeah.
But I feel like, funny enough, I was more excited for the setup for the next saga than I was for the conclusion of this one.
Yeah. I'm all like, when I saw that. Okay, there was this movie, right? Explain to them the movie, in regards to to what the ending was supposed to represent. The guys with the animal masks. Explain that.
Yeah. Basically, the guys with the animal masks, they were the prophets from the game Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, and it's basically before the Keyblade War and everything like that. They were the ones tasked, with certain things. The Master would tell them to do certain things like that. We still don't fully know their role, or the Master's role, but somehow they came forward in time. And again, I am completely summarizing this, but they came forward in time to meet with Lushu, who we found out was actually Zigbar the whole time. Dun dun dun, and they're trying to bring forth something to do with the box that should have never been opened, and that box was given to Luciu back in,
And if you remember correctly, the box that was the box that Maleficent and Pete was looking for at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they found Pandora's box, but but that was completely irrelevant. And
yeah, but if you play and or watch the cutscenes of Union Cross, it'll make sense why Maleficent knows about the box and why she's looking for it. But again, I won't get into that. But the point is, they're back in this world now, and there was some kind of big plan throughout all of Kingdom Hearts, Union Cross, and we don't know if the Master Masters is good or bad, but I'm assuming he's bad. And yeah, that's pretty much the setup for the next game.
am I the only one that found it fucking stupid that Zigbar was the the master or whatever the fuck that was? Am I the only one that found that kind of dumb? That setup was just.
Well, I think people I always thought he knew a little more than he was letting on, definitely. But I think it was a good way to tie it in while being lazy. But I guess it was a good way. Like, I was definitely surprised when I saw that he was actually Luciu. But
Right.
But I feel like if that's how they're going to introduce it, I think that's probably the best case scenario.
That's fair.
I would have definitely done it better, or not better. I'm not going to sound like I'm a fucking god of writing, but I would have definitely done it differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, all things considered, I'm pretty excited for the next saga because they actually have interesting characters and stuff. And I want to know what's in the fucking box.
Yeah, dude. Because we were for the longest time, the Kingdom Hearts fans were trying to figure out what the hell Kingdom Hearts is, and they didn't explain what it is in this game.
We still don't really know. We know it's the heart of all worlds, and we know that it can reset the universe when it's fall into darkness. But that's all we know. We really don't know jack shit. And it seems like the next saga is going to be going off of Kingdom Hearts again, and still. So we still don't understand it. We apparently went inside of it in the Scarlet Kylum, but even that, we don't really know. Still.
Yeah.
After how many years? We still don't know what the hell the title of the game is.
Exactly, dude. And if you actually did the final, the secret ending, which don't you have to 100% the game or something like that?
You have to get all of the Mickey secret emblems.
All the emblems, yeah. I was thinking talking about some extra stuff towards the end, but I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those guys, and then they just looked up the secret ending, because looking for those damn things was just as interesting as just finding the shit seeds and
Breath of the Wild.
And Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I know they're called Corkery seeds, but they're shit seeds. If you look them up, they literally said that. It literally says that, and just
Yeah, I hate fetch quests, especially when they're oh, find all of this or find all of that. I don't think that's content. I think that's just lazy copy and paste. All right, there's a quest.
Yeah, granted, yeah, it's build up towards trying to get the ultimate weapon, but at the same time though, it's okay, in my opinion, getting that, it's like in Super Mario 64 when you get all the stars and your fucking reward is 99 lives, and you got all the stars and you spent countless hours of playing this game, and your reward is that. It's just something that's just not.
And you get rewarded with something that would have helped getting it. It's
exactly.
You get the ultimate weapon, but in order to get it, you beat all the bosses, and those bosses would have been nice to have the ultimate weapon. So you have nothing to use the weapon on.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have this stupid powerful weapon for no reason.
Exactly. It makes no freaking sense.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
So yeah, I was really one of those guys and just looked up the ultimate weapon because I have a life. I ain't got time to be spend that life looking for fucking Mickey Mouse icons. And
Agreed.
it's and the ending was basically Sora and the world ends with us,
Yep.
city, which
Oh, the world ends with you, or well,
or ends
whatever.
with you, ends with you. Why do I keep on saying us? But yeah, the world ends with you, and even though I haven't played that game and I want to, um, I'm actually pretty excited for that because I actually like some of the characters.
Oh yeah, I played it, and if it ties into the game like I think it does, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, because it was a dream drop distance when they introduced those characters. It was like the very beginning. Um, yeah, it was the very beginning of Dream Drop Distance
Yep.
when you enter
Exactly.
Twilight Town,
Yep. Exactly.
which I miss Twilight Town. I wish they showed it in this game for. And
You mean Traverse Town?
Traverse Town, I mean Traverse Town.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I got you. I got you.
like yeah, like the very dark, like the dark lit, um, world that you go to. Like literally, that's like your first world you literally go to, in like the very first Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
Bro, I love it. That would have been good nostalgia, but it's whatever.
Whatevs.
But
Yeah,
no,
that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. But I don't know if you had more.
no, yeah, I have like extra stuff. Just only little stuff like the Mickey Mouse icons. We already talked about that, which is basically you just taking pictures of that.
Yep.
The food ingredients, which I'm not gonna lie, I had fun with some of the food, the food the food ingredients, like the cooking segment. Like the hardest one I had was probably literally breaking an egg.
Yeah, I think everyone did. Have
Yeah.
that trouble with it.
And the cell phone thing where they're trying to be modern for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. That was dumb.
And it's one way of communicating with the other people, but at the same time, though, it was kind of weird. And then the one thing that pissed off a lot of people who played this game was there's no Final Fantasy characters.
Yep. That I completely think that they should have, and I am really pissed that they didn't have any.
Yeah, they have like a shit ton of characters to deal with, so I kind of understand. But at the same time, though, I just wish that they actually show these characters.
Yep. I completely agree because after all, Kingdom Hearts is a mix of Final Fantasy and Disney, not just Disney. Like, so it's kind of in its DNA.
Basically, yeah.
I know a big reason why I wanted to play the later ones is because I'm like, oh shit, I want to know what Final Fantasy characters are in this one.
That's what I'm
You
saying,
know?
bro. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping, when I heard like they were building or making or getting close to making Kingdom Hearts 3. I thought they were gonna. I honestly thought I was gonna see lightning in this.
Oh yeah, Lightning or Noctis or
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. We sort of saw
Or, like-
Noctis. We sort of saw
Yeah.
Noctis, but
Yeah.
but in the Toy Story game.
Yeah. Shit, I was hoping for like Balthier, Fran, Vaughn, fucking Miguelo. I'd take Miguelo for God's sake.
Bro, Bothier, my boy.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hell yeah,
god.
dude.
From Final Fantasy 12, bro, the dude with the guns,
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
I'm Captain Boz von
Captain
Romberger
Boz.
Dalmasca.
Yeah. Don't believe Under's life.
But no, yeah, Bosch. Not Bosch. Balthier, bro. I would have loved to see him, bro. That would have been sick.
Yep.
But
no.
But no,
They
yeah.
fucked us.
Yeah. Overall, the verdict. Was this game, worth the wait? Was this game, worth 15 years, waiting? Is this, does this game live up to the hype? Um. Well, let's say some of the good things about this game. I mean, like, yeah, it's aesthetically pleasing, you know, and it's great seeing, you know, these characters. You work along with, like, like these characters that are basically like your childhood, like, like mostly Pixar characters, like, like Monsters Inc. Woody and Buzz and all these great characters. I mean, like that's just. I mean, I like that. I love the fact that they returned. I like the fact that they brought back some returning characters like Aqua and all these people. It's just that overall, it's just well, I felt like 90% of the game was legit only filler. Because it just didn't add much to the story or rest of the different worlds.
Agreed. I completely agree with that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did have fun finding all those white crabs in the Pirates of the Caribbean world, but that was only the first 10 or 15 minutes of it. I got bored of it for a while, but it was fun finding those things. But at the same time, that was kind of dull. It was, and then the character interactions and stuff like that. I felt nothing. It was just everything was just forced. Everything. I just felt nothing whatsoever. And this is a dark story. You got people, taking over people's bodies. You got people like killing each other. I mean, even though it doesn't look like it's killing, it's technically like incineration in a sense. And it's just I felt it, and I can understand it, and it's just like, and again, I can't blame Square Enix for this. I have to blame Disney for this because of the fact they were just so because Disney is so fucking dumb. Do they not know that if the game did so well in profit that they would receive so much of that revenue? Like, Jesus Christ, did they really have to be this fucking uptight about all these restrictions? Like, oh my god. But overall, like, what's your input on this?
I think I pretty much covered everything, all of my thoughts about it overall. I think,
dude. And then like towards the end, I mean, like when you bring up the fact when you say that Zigbar had, you feel like Zigbar knew more what he was letting off. It's in previous games. It's like, okay, when you say that, I can see where you're coming from. It's just the lead up towards it was just kind of lame. But
Yeah.
at the same time, though, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does in the next installments.
Yeah. So what would you give it for a rating?
I give it 6 keyblades out of 10. I mean, like, cause like it's definitely above average game, but at the same time though, it's like I would rate it higher if there was variety in the combat, if there was some emotion with the characters and stuff like that, and it's like, but at the same time though, it is aesthetically pleasing. It's great seeing like all these characters that you haven't seen in a while, and just like that lead up towards like towards the game, and then like I also like the fact that there are times like you're just running through the worlds and like you see like these random, then like randomly there's like character dialogue, going on in between characters. It was definitely pretty cool. There's some funny ones, like for example, like when you're in Toy Story and you strike like a helium tank, you hear everybody's voice just like high pitch, and then like you hear Woody be like, "Hey Buzz, my voice is like super high," and then like you got Buzz be like, "Well, this is very odd," and then you get like, and you hear Sora be like, "Yeah, my voice is super high," and then Donald's be like, mine too, and it's like his voice didn't change at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm confused. Was there like a joke there with regards to is it the joke like the helium wore off or something like that, or is like, or like I laughed at the fact that his voice didn't change, but I was just wondering if there was like a hidden meaning to the joke. But
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Overall the game was definitely above average. I just wish that there's just some things. There's just some things, added. And I wish there was, they had more time. And I just wish that Disney wasn't so fucking restrictive on these guys, on Square Enix.
Yeah.
Like what would you rate it?
I think overall I would also have it to give it 6 out of 10.
What? Yeah, you give it 6 Titus laughs out of 10.
Well, Ursula, but also Titus works too. Sorry, I need a little more. I can't do Ursula. Very tasty.
I can't do it. Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it, I can't do it.
Yeah. But that is also my rating.
Anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's good. I think I'm good.
Sounds good. Especially since our producer's definitely giving us the thumbs up, saying like time for us to cut it. So yeah. With that said, thank you guys for watching. This is what the fuck did we name this shit? This is BTM signing out.
BDSM.
BDS, shut up. This is BTM signing out. Peace.
Bitch.